part of our community and changing it for the better in so many ways. Why Santa Fe, and what made you want to be such an integral part of the community here?
I don't know. I don't think I woke up one day and said, I think I'll become part of the community. I moved here in 1979 just because it was, it was simultaneously with me becoming full-time as a writer. Before that, although I'd written and sold stories and novels, I always had a day job, as writers call it. But in 1979, I said, okay, I'm going to roll the dice and see if I can make it full-time as a writer. And once I did, you can live anywhere you want. That's one of the cool things about being a writer, so why not live someplace really cool, like Santa Fe. And I got here, and I got addicted to green chili, and now I can't leave.
Why not?
That may be the clue to getting these Hollywood people here. We get them in, we feed them green chili, and then they have to keep coming back. Because we're the only ones for it. As for the stuff, more recently, it all started with this theater, which of course had closed in 2006, and I had many great memories of movies I had seen in this theater, and the best popcorn in town, which I missed. And it's only 10 minutes from my house, so I would drive past it and think, why doesn't someone reopen that theater during the 7 years it was dark? And why doesn't someone reopen that theater? It was such a sweet little theater. And then one day it just suddenly clicked, oh, hey, why don't I reopen that theater? And then, through a complicated thing, that led to me meeting Vince. And is Vince here? He was outside. Yes.
Yeah.
Is he gone?
He was here. He's very busy these days.
The Vince Lubeck, who did some promotion for us here at the theater for a while, trying to attract younger people to the theater, because that was a real issue that I saw. I mean, I know I'm really old, but I'm really just a 16-year-old kid inside, and it was frustrating that our demographic here in Santa Fe was skewing so old. But Vince seemed to have the clue with Meow Wolf, so I brought him in and I got to know him through that. He was trying to reach out to the younger community. And then a few years later, when he had this Meow Wolf idea of taking over a defunct bowling alley, he came to me. So, and that in turn led to Stagecoach, because David Winninger read about what I was doing with Meow Wolf and all that. So I guess one thing leads to another. But I'm thrilled to be able to do all this stuff, and it's exciting. It's exciting things to be involved with, and I hope we can continue to do even newer and better and more exciting things for Santa Fe and for the film community in general.
And I'd like to ask a little more about Stagecoach Foundation. You mentioned in the press that it's not a film studio per se. It's more a place for pre and post. So if you could talk a little about that.
Well, it's yes. To my frustration, everybody who reported on an initial thing got it wrong, and it was all I was building a film studio, and no, it's not a studio. It's an office building, and it was built in 1999 by David Winninger, an amazing man who passed away last year. But wanted to do something himself good for the community, and he gave me the building, and I hired Marisa here to use it. And the whole idea is to help bring more productions to Santa Fe by offering them, quite low cost and nice production facilities and office space. We don't have any sound stages, so it's not a studio, but it is an excellent place. Hostiles was based there before I took it over, when David still ran it, and that sort of gave me the idea that we could open it up. And right now we have the Coen brothers in there, and we hope to have John Sayles in there for a new thing. The film business and the television business, which I've been in, is a very competitive business. I go out and pitch shows to HBO, and other people are pitching shows to HBO in the same day. And they only have so many slots. They're going to greenlight this show. They're not going to greenlight that show. Actors have to compete for roles. They come in and audition. Same for writers for writing assignments, directors, and it's also true on the state level. Make no mistake, we are in a competitive business. There's a lot of television being made. There's a lot of movies being made. Where are they going to make it? Where are they going to make it? You know, and yeah, we're not going to compete for something that's set in Harlem or Brooklyn, or you know, that'll probably go to New York City, or failing that, Vancouver, because we don't have the suitable things. But there are a lot of movies that can be made, you know, in a place like Santa Fe, and we want to get these movies. We want to get these movies, and every advantage we can to getting those movies. You know, we're in competition with Texas and Arizona and Utah and you know, states like that. We may be in, for certain movies, in competition with Georgia, and there's no mistake that Georgia is a state that's really doing it right. And I think right now they're way ahead of like everybody but California. So how do we compete? Well, you know, there's a lot of things we can do, but I hope Stagecoach is one little thing. We can offer them some really nice offices and production facility at a rate that is low enough so that someone who's looking, oh God, I only have $5 million to make this television pilot. Where can I make it most cost? Well, here, if I base it here, then, you know, it makes a difference. And that might be the deciding thing. But there are a lot of other deciding things that we need to do. And obviously the incentives are a big part of it. We have to get rid of this cap. You know, I like caps, but only on my head, not on film production. It's like saying, what? We have enough jobs? We don't need any more jobs? We're going to cap the number of jobs? No, let's not have any cap at all. But there are other things. Our crews, we have to keep producing more crews and training people. One of the things we're hoping to do with Stagecoach is when we give the people who are coming in to do that, these low-cost offices, they have to return something to the community by doing educational programs, by doing mentorships, by hiring interns. You know, they're going to hire good people to work. The crews that you were talking about are here, and they're great, but we have to keep producing new ones. So we have to reach out to the kids at the Indian school, and the, you know, the teenagers who dream of being actors, or who dream of having, you know, being cinematographers or anything like that. Let's get them involved. Let's get them trained. Let's get them internships and mentorships and things like that. And we're hoping Stagecoach can help with that.
This is an accurate statement. When I do a movie here in New Mexico, and that movie is a union picture, pretty much people get paid somewhere between, on an average, 28 to 30 bucks an hour. And they get overtime, and they get health, and they get pension. And for anybody in this room who lives here, I think we all know that if you're knocking down 28 to 30 bucks an hour in New Mexico, you can raise a family. You can look your kids in the eye and say, I'm taking care of business here. And you can have a kind of pride for yourself. And it's one of the reasons why I feel politically so strongly about the film industry.